I'm such a dick?
It's never too late to stop being a dick.
Nerd!
What in the world is going on with Marvel? I'm joined as always by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader's here.
Hi.
What's up?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit lost.
Well, it's been a minute.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get back in the swing of things.
Ready for Ant-Man Quantumania?
Only if I can be MODOK or whatever whatever that is. Hey guys, I need like a big giant frame around my head. I'm really cool now.
I can make your face the entire screen.
Oh,
is that
yeah.
what you want to do?
No, don't do that. It's terrible.
I'm gonna get on the AI art.
Oh yeah,
Get
Vader
as
Vader
MODOK.
Doc.
Vader as
Vadoc.
MODOK. Perfect.
Vadoc.
Do it.
That's
It's a new avatar.
Vadoc.
Judah's also here.
Hello.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
How many Marvel movies have you seen? Have you seen them all?
No, I'm sure I haven't seen them all.
Because there's like 30.
10,000 of them.
Yeah, there's like 30 of them, I think.
I have seen, I will say, maybe most.
Okay.
Definitely more than half.
Okay, cool. Matthew Cage is also here, hardest working person on the planet. What's up, dude?
Not much. I want to thank all you guys for humoring me because I was the one who called for the review of Quantumania, despite the fact that it was awful. But we wanted something that was recent, and so Quantumania had just come out on Disney Plus. But I got even better news, which is that as some of you might know, we recently suffered a robbery, and
When?
the good news. The good news is that we got the fat cam back.
Yay!
We were without our wide angle shot.
We
For,
got the
the
fat
fat
cam.
cam.
What's up,
For a little
everybody?
No one wanted that.
I hate the fat cam.
I'm going to rob the place next.
I look great in the fat cam. I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right.
Fat cam.
Marvel, folks. Let's talk about Marvel. So I wanted to real quick, what I did this week in preparation for the show is I went back and watched some of my favorite, like,
Oh, yeah?
I
like
watched a
first
couple
phase, like Iron Man and like Civil War, Winter Soldier, stuff like that. Just to remind myself of like the peak Marvel movies. They were so fun and so gritty, and they had like, even though they were this fantastical Marvel universe that they take place within, you're going to space, do all that stuff, they were so grounded and they felt real. Like, they did a really, really good job of making me believe everything that was happening, despite the fact that it's like some kind of crazy comic universe that we're dealing with. But I had so much fun, dude. The original Iron Man movie, I watched that. I
Yeah.
loved it. Tony Stark was the freaking man. Like, that whole movie is amazing. Like, he gets kidnapped. He builds his own suit out of scraps in a cave somewhere and then escapes. Like, that whole scene's fantastic. That movie, it's probably one of my favorite origin film movies, because they've done, how many origin film movies are there? I mean, there's a freaking billion of them, and they're getting tired now.
Don't look at me when you ask that, because you
Sorry,
know I don't know.
These guys aren't even paying attention. It was like one of the better origin story movies in this cinematic universe, but like in movies in general. I feel like it did a really fantastic
The
job.
first Iron Man
Soundtrack was great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was so AC/DC. I mean, it was rocking and rolling. I loved it. I was not as much of a fan of Captain America, the first Avenger.
Okay.
His origin story kind of fell flat for me.
Really?
I was really irritated that they did a montage over the World War II battle scenes. I really wanted like half the movie to be World War II battle scenes. Like, I know you don't like Zack Snyder, but the Wonder Woman scene where she goes into the no man's land and she's like taking on the Germans or whatever, that was a fantastic scene.
In the first movie?
In the first, in the first Wonder Woman movie. I love that scene.
that was Patty Jenkins, not Zack Snyder.
Well, it's part of his universe. Because we saw what happened when Patty Jenkins did her own thing, and it was awful.
Oh, yeah. That was that terrible Wonder Woman movie, right?
The 1984
oh, no,
movie.
that movie was terrible.
Yeah, that was her by herself.
It was kind of rapey, too.
It was real rapey.
was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a reverse rape though.
Yeah.
She was raping a
Remember?
dude.
So,
Oh, Steve Trevor came back.
somebody else's body,
Yeah.
and
he
she
was
banged
like, oh, yeah.
him.
Oh, come on. That's silly.
Anyway, my point is,
That guy could have had a family waiting for him at
Yeah,
home.
well, it wasn't him at the time.
despite not liking some of the, like, there's been a few entries in the Marvel universe where I'm like not super hot on, but for the most part, those early movies were freaking bangers, man. I
Yeah.
loved
Yeah,
them.
oh,
I
yeah.
was in, and they sold the audience. I mean, I was
Oh man, the first Thor was rough.
I don't know. I just watched it. I liked it.
Did you like the first one?
Yeah, and I
Thor,
love
listen.
Ragnarok.
Thor is
What?
Thor is my favorite of the
Well,
Avengers.
obviously, yeah. Matt Vader 70 Thor.
Yeah, and for some reason I just really like all the Thor movies except for the last one. Love and Thunder. That was atrocious.
Well, that's part of this current phase
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, and
So
you
I
know,
get it.
and I've been in many fights over
Ragnarok?
but
It's interesting how people turned on that.
It's not
Because I really enjoyed Ragnarok.
I laugh. I had a good time with it. It
Yeah.
just made me laugh and chuckle.
Mhm.
But Love and Thunder made me feel kind of gross,
Dumb.
and dumb. Yeah.
Jane?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But what's your favorite like phase 1 or phase
it's
2? I
Probably
guess?
probably phase 1.
Yeah.
Just because it was new and it was fun and the movies were better, and it was just, and they were setting things up, but they weren't all like completely connected to where you had to watch one to get the other.
They still felt like standalones.
Yeah.
Like you could watch one and not have to worry
I
about
didn't
what
I didn't
happened.
I didn't have to go watch 16 hours of shitty Netflix shows
Yeah.
to
to catch up.
and know what's going on. And no.
I get it.
No.
What's-
They've become a victim of their own excess, I think, in a little bit.
Oh, I like
100%.
that quote.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
need to dial it back.
Yeah, the
Make
second they
these movies
started
more simple.
the second they started making TV series mandatory for you to understand what was going on in the movies, they jumped the shark.
And that was all post Endgame, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the TV shows came out after that. Because I feel like as a fan of Marvel and as a fan of these movies, my jumping off point was Endgame. Like once that was done, I felt completely
Yeah.
satisfied as a fan. I was like, that was a
We've
fantastic
come
story.
full circle.
Well done, everybody. Set up and payoff.
Oh, but wait a minute.
And then they were like, but we have all of this, and it was like all the B-list characters that
Yeah.
I didn't give a
And
crap
it just
about.
feels like a money grab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
all the solo shows are about characters that
Nobody cares.
nobody
about.
cares about.
It's like-
it's like I know Wanda,
She's a
Vision
cool-
and Scarlet Witch are cool, but I don't.
But they're not
They're-
mainline.
I don't
Bring
want-
me the
it's-
Flag Smasher show.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, please.
and the shows were all inserted with so much of just Disney
that-
nonsense.
That happened.
You
Like
know?
that started to happen at the end of like I don't know what phases we're on, but like when Endgame and Infinity War were coming out, that's when I felt like they started diving into that stuff. Because like Captain Marvel came out around that time, and then like 1 or 2 scenes in Endgame where like they were like, look at the girl power, and it was like, oh
Yeah, I mean,
all
there's
right.
there's hundreds of thousands of hours of commentary on YouTube alone about this very topic, and
Yeah.
it's very well documented about how much Disney
Suck the life out of this franchise.
just fuck themselves, with the She-Hulk twerking nonsense. So that show is
I forgot about that show. Thanks for reminding me.
oh my god, so bad. It's just and all of their stupid social justice insertions and redheaded Enfys Nest has to be in every one of their fucking shows, and that
She's a
weird
Disney
chick with the
staple.
freckles is
Yeah.
enough. It's just it's too much bad writing, bad characters, bad everything. Just
So
but
my question is how and what, because we were riding high on 20 some odd movies that were, you can argue that some of them were not that great. Like I didn't like First
Yeah.
Avengers. Some people, you didn't like Thor and Love and Thunder. Like there's been bad installments, but for the most part, over the course of the 20 movies, everybody's like, yeah, this was a fun ride. This was really cool. Endgame was great. Infinity War was cool. Thanos is dope. It's a good bad guy. Guardians of the Galaxy popped in there a little bit and had some fun. It was like a good stint. And then it just took a nosedive.
Right.
And it was wild to see because I started watching these shows with you guys. We covered a couple of them on the podcast, and I was like, I think I'm good.
I don't
Yeah.
think I'm done. I don't
I
need
don't
this
know if they've
anymore.
had they had a kind of a plan, right? They had it all figured out and outlined out up through
Infinity War.
the whole Thanos arc, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it seemed like after the Thanos thing was done, they pulled a Lucasfilm and just started throwing shit against the wall.
See what would stick.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but that's what it feels like. It's like we got all these D characters that are going to be trying to support the B characters because Sony has the A characters still, and it's just it just seems really strange because why would you put She-Hulk out there or Miss Marvel when you have things like the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom?
Because
And
people
all
really
of
needed
these
to know about
Silver
Falcon's boat.
Silver Surfer, and these badass characters, these A-list characters.
I think
when-
people are
when-
afraid to do
when-
Fantastic Four.
When those are the characters we want to see.
Yeah. Everybody's been begging for an X-Men movie.
Yeah.
But there's been like 1,000 of those too.
Well,
No, and the last one didn't do well.
No.
But at the time, the plan was to call them the mutants. Because remember, Victoria Alonso was in there, and she
we
was
can't
like,
call them men anymore.
Yeah, you can't call them men because that's sexist.
Yeah.
It's never going to end.
It's ridiculous.
It's not going to end well for this franchise, man.
And, you know, and this is a lot of this
We're gonna
stuff.
change Human too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is why we just don't talk about Marvel movies because it's the same argument.
It's a little depressing.
It is depressing,
Yeah.
especially here in the last few years.
That's why when I watched, I was getting ready to watch this Ant-Man movie, the Quantumania movie that just came out, and I was like, man, I really need to pick me up. So I went back and watched all the good stuff from like 2009, and I was like, this is freaking good Marvel. This is fun. And what's your favorite like original phase of? You said Thor. Is it the first one?
Phase one. I like Phase one.
Yeah.
I like all the setups.
Do you guys consider the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton to be included in the MCU?
It's supposed to be, I think.
It is technically canon
because General Ross is the same character and stuff. I mean, I don't really think about it that much. I mean, I guess so. Whatever. I guess they just recast Hulk.
Yeah, they recast
Banner,
Edward
right?
Norton as that softy. What's his face? Ruffalo.
Yeah, Ruffalo.
I think Edward Norton's Hulk is better than Ruffalo's Hulk for sure.
Do you?
100%.
I mean, I haven't.
I feel like they nerfed the Hulk for some reason. You remember in the
You
original?
never get it right.
They don't. And you remember in the original Avengers movie, like the first time they ever
Yeah.
teamed up? And
I'm
the
always
Hulk,
I'm always angry.
dude, the Hulk was a freaking menace. Like that dude, like he was beating up his own team
they
members.
were afraid of him.
Yeah, they were terrible. Like, don't
Rightfully
make him
so.
angry. And he was on the helicarrier, and they were like, oh shit, the Hulk escaped. And he's like pounding through hallways, and I was like, dang, that's the Hulk. And then like after that, he's just like he got throttled by Thanos, and they were like, well, we can't have him too strong because then Thanos won't be a threat.
And they made him so dumb.
And then they made him dumb, and then they made him like a freaking weirdo scientist. And we got Professor Hulk, and we're just like, he's eating tacos now, and we're like, well,
I actually don't. I don't mind Smart Hulk.
You don't mind Smart?
He's kind of funny to me.
Oh no, I
Like,
need angry
hey,
Hulk.
he wants to do a selfie. All right.
I like that too.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. I think it's funny.
That's
But
weird.
It's weird.
It's weird.
but-
I liked.
He's balanced.
I had fun with Hulk in Ragnarok. Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when he was on like the fight planet.
Yeah,
Jeff
yeah.
That was
Goldblum.
cool. Yeah, that was cool. I like that version of Hulk where he's kind of like permanently like the dumb, angry.
Well, he wasn't
Hulk.
dumb. He was.
No, he was like Hulk smash. Like he was talked like that. He wasn't
Yeah.
Professor Hulk at that point. That's
Yeah.
what
I
I mean.
guess so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
but-
what you're saying.
I enjoy like don't mess with Hulk. That version is more fun than the freaking here's a taco, buddy. You know, have fun with it. I haven't asked Kadish yet. What's your favorite phase of Marvel? What's your favorite movie that was actually in the good era?
I think that I really enjoyed the first Avenger movie, but my all-time favorite is Civil War, Captain America: Civil War. I think that that was the start of leading into the Infinity Saga, and I just liked how all the characters came together. But I think out of all like the first three phases of Marvel, I think Captain America: Winter Soldier is probably the best movie.
Yeah, totally agree.
Is Civil War where we get the Vision and Wanda backstory?
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean,
believe
they connect a little bit, but they end up on opposite sides of the team.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the marketing push for that?
Oh God,
Dude, it was like, are you Team Iron Man or Team Cap? And everybody's like, oh, I'm freaking Team Iron Man.
it was
Screw the-"
cool.
And then the Captain America people were like, screw the government. They don't know what's good. And like, I loved it, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm on Team Cap 100%.
Robert
though.
Redford was the bad guy.
Yes, Robert Redford. Oh, dude, I love
Everybody
that guy.
everybody was going around going, what we'd like. You and I did it. We'd whisper in each other's, "Hail Hydra."
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I was like, "Hail fucking Hydra."
and that movie had like the great thing about like Nick Cage when he was there. He was like, you know, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
Oh, my God.
And then they completely ruined it in
ruined
Captain
it.
Marvel.
Oh, they
God,
ruined
that's
that
terrible.
whole thing. Do you know about that?
No.
Okay, so the thing with Nick Fury has one eye, right? Obviously the eye patch is iconic, but there's never been like in the movies there was never like a backstory about how he lost the eye, and they hinted at it in
Oh,
Civil
the cat
War.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he said Nick Cage, and I was like, what? No, I do know about this. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Did you say Nick Cage?
Yeah, I meant Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. I mean, we always have Nick Cage on the brain around here.
Losing my mind for a second.
Nicolas Cage
How
is in
did
Marvel?
This escaped my attention.
I started thinking about Johnny Cage for some reason.
No, Nick Fury had the eye patch and he had the scratch in his eye.
and
then they were
Captain Marvel.
yeah, they were like,
cat.
oh, the cat scratched
That
him.
was so stupid.
Yeah, because the setup in Civil War or was it Winter Soldier?
It was Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier was like, oh man, like he got betrayed by another member of the team or something like that. There's a cool backstory and there's gonna be a cool fight scene or whatever. No, it was a lame kitty cat scratch. It was like an alien cat with like a freaking giant vagina face or whatever. It's weird. I don't understand Captain Marvel. This movie's so bad.
Vagina face?
Yeah, the cat had a vagina face. Like it opened up and it was like, you know?
Like a Venus flytrap,
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
which is what vaginas look like to Alex.
They're scary.
They all have teeth.
I mean, it's like the Sarlacc pit in Star Wars. It's all the same thing.
Sarlacc pit's just a
That's
big.
fun fact. That's his nickname for his lovely.
The Sarlacc pit.
I'm gonna get up in that Sarlacc pit tonight, baby.
I'm like Boba Fett, just trying to like crawl my way out of it, covered in goo and
You
sand.
need to stop.
That's why he has so many kids.
You're gonna get in so much fucking trouble, dude.
I know.
Sarlacc's just Tatooine's vagina.
It is.
That's
It's true.
hilarious.
You gonna ask me what my favorites are?
1,000 years of pain and suffering.
That's accurate. That is accurate.
I'm sorry, Jude. What's your favorite phase?
Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania.
Oh yeah.
No.
No. All right, let's talk about this a little bit. So who begged me to watch this? Was it you,
Yeah.
Kadish?
So
I do have a synopsis.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we do
yeah,
synopsis.
but before we get into the review, though, I want to touch on Vader's point about how the first couple phases of Marvel, the first 3 phases, seemed like a very well thought out, overarching storyline that spanned many movies, many years. They took their time to basically set stuff up, pay it off, build it up properly, establish what were basically like C-level characters and turn them into A-level characters over time. You know, you had like Black Panther, you had Guardians of the Galaxy, you had all these characters that weren't like the big superstars in the Marvel universe who got like the movie treatment and became superstars. And, you know, like the Infinity War and Endgame were both like a really great climax to, you know, this multi-year, multi-movie story. And so after Endgame, a lot of people were like, okay, like what's the next move? And it seemed like they were setting something up with the multiverse, right? And then COVID hit. And originally, WandaVision was supposed to come out after Falcon Winter Soldier, and that would lead into Doctor Strange. And so like you'd have like that whole storyline with Wanda and then see her turn into the bad guy for Doctor Strange, essentially.
But that still requires you to watch like 8 hours of a TV show.
Which originally we were all on board for. We were like, sick. Well, we're getting extra content.
Yeah,
I guess that's true, yeah.
basically when the lockdowns happened, when COVID hit, it threw everything for a loop because there was a big like virus storyline in Falcon Winter Soldier, and they had to pull that and re-edit it to get rid of that storyline because they thought it was too insensitive.
Why? Why would they do
Why?
that?
Yeah.
And
it would have.
I hate it when they treat us like
Everybody
we're
started
2-year-olds.
watching Pandemic the second we had a pandemic.
People, that's a huge marketing thing. Like, oh, there's
Yeah.
a virus out in the world right now. Here's
Yeah.
a TV show about a virus taking over the world.
Yeah.
Everybody would watch it.
Read the room.
Look about Utopia. Remember Utopia?
Yes.
They had to have a warning at the beginning of it. Like
That
this.
was
They were
awesome.
like, this is fiction. And it almost lined up exactly with what was happening. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is wild.
We,
Yeah.
we were watching.
Almost.
We were watching. we were
This
watching.
close.
John Cusack wasn't involved.
Yeah, but he's basically freaking
Bill Gates.
Bill
Yeah.
Gates. So
It was Pandemic or that bitch Carol Baskin. That's what we were all watching.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But so Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to kick off the Phase 4, but they had to pull it to re-edit it in order to get rid of that virus
so stupid.
subplot.
They made it worse, I'm certain.
Yeah, and then WandaVision was supposed to come out, but WandaVision ended up coming out first. And then there was like a huge gap between WandaVision and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And it felt like Marvel was basically scrambling to figure out, like they had this somewhat of a plan for Phase 4, but then like, you know, things just kept going wrong for them. And then the next big release was The Eternals. And that movie, oh my God. Originally, The Eternals was supposed to be their surrogate for X-Men because they had planned it before they had acquired Fox.
Man, the Eternals was so forgettable.
Well, not
I
only
don't
was it
think I finished
forgettable,
it.
but like the planet Earth now has like a head and a hand sticking out of the top of it, and they've never addressed this in the Marvel universe.
Gonna act like it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That was in an alternate universe. It was an alternate
don't
Earth.
worry about that. But that was the thing.
One
That
of
was
the
like you got,
multiverse Earths.
I remember the hype for that. They were trying to build up the hype about like the Game of Thrones actors coming back, like Kit Harington, who was going to be like Black Knight or something like that. And then they
Yeah, Robb
got
Stark.
they had Robb Stark, King of the North.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
You're getting your
Salma
kings
Hayek.
confused.
wait, King of the North is
Kit Harington. Jon
That's
Snow.
it. Yeah, he was in
Yeah, but-
Eternals.
no,
right?
but before that, it was Robb Stark
also King
was.
in the North.
Remember?
Oh, right.
The King in the North.
Okay, they're both kings of the North.
Sorry, sorry.
But they also had like they were developing the Blade movie, and that thing has been kicked back.
They
to,
still haven't made
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
thing.
yeah. They still kick it back to development because they can't, for some reason, they can't figure out how to do Blade.
Sorry,
Because they're trying to do it like Disney-fied PG nonsense, and I'm like,
we can't do Blade like
it's
that.
Blade.
We will reject it.
Oh, 100%.
We need to take the
We
power
just-
away from
it's like,
Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
For
just-
Christ's sake.
Yeah.
It's like if you give me a PG Blade, I'm not watching that movie. Hell no.
Of course not. But that's the thing, though, is like Disney makes rated R movies. They have sub studios that can do the rated R stuff that they own. Like, hey, it's not Disney,
But-
it's New Line or whoever it is that they have make
New
it.
Line.
And they can be like, here, make a rated R hardcore Marvel movie for us. Like, what was super successful was
Meanwhile, Sony's-
Daredevil. Daredevil on Netflix, the original show.
Shit, that was great.
That was dope. And it was
Yeah.
rated R as hell.
Kiss Daredevil goodbye.
Yeah, it's gone. It's
done.
Disney-fied.
Yeah.
It's Disney-fied now.
It's
Yeah.
But that Netflix show was awesome. Everybody was like, "Holy crap, this is a Marvel show? Hell yeah, this is great!" And it was brutal and it was dark.
Yeah, the thing I liked about the original incarnation of the MCU was that they kind of had different aspects of the MCU that TV shows and movies would focus on. So you had like the Avengers level, but then you also had like the street level, you had the cosmic level, you had the magic level, and with Ant-Man you have like the quantum level. So like there were like different aspects that each movie kind of like brought something new to, which I really enjoyed.
And all those levels kind of represented a different aspect of the Infinity Stones,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
And with the advent of Phase 4, so Phase 4 got kicked off by Shang-Chi. Remember that movie?
ugh.
That's one I haven't seen.
Sorry,
Well,
Astro.
that stars Aquafina.
I know. And so I politely decline.
Ugh.
She was fantastic. in
Shang-Chi
that.
All you Aquafina people, don't fucking come for me. I know you're out there.
Didn't I send you an Instagram post that she was going to be in? She's
Yeah.
going to be in the new Kung Fu Panda. And
Yeah,
I was like, why?
I was like, I wasn't going to go see it anyway. It's fine.
Stop.
Do you have your job, make your living? I decline from participating.
All I see when I think of Aquafina now is like a Mr. Miyagi looking old man.
Yeah,
And it's completely thanks to Renfield.
yeah.
It's like she's
Playing an old man.
like some of our support. She's hot, dude. No, she's not. It's
That's
wild.
great
It's-
for you. I'm
I know,
glad
it's
you think
crazy.
she's hot.
Yeah, but so Phase 4 basically got thrown for a loop by COVID. And it feels like they've been scrambling ever since. In fact, after Phase 4 ended, they were like, okay, we know we messed up. We're going to go back to the drawing board. And so they rejiggered stuff to kind of focus more on Kang. And the multiverse was just kind of like an intro to Kang, right? So they have the Secret Wars and they have Kang, and they're both kind of like
They were like, put it all in the Kang basket.
yeah. And then this whole thing with Jonathan Majors happens. It's very strange.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
yeah. But
Imagine having your it was Josh Brolin, right? Thanos, Josh Brolin voicing Thanos, and then he just goes off and freaking does something stupid and gets arrested, and everybody's like,
well, they haven't fired him yet.
Yeah. You mean like Ezra Miller
well, they're still banking on
kidnapping
that.
people?
They're still banking on that guy. They're like, hey guys, go see the Flash movie.
It's gonna be the best movie ever made.
I refuse.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not either.
It's a Batman movie. Get out of here with your Flash nonsense.
Old Batman.
1989 Batman movie. So in going into Phase 5, like Marvel was like, okay, we know we screwed up. We're going to try to right the ship. And their Phase 5 movies have just been kind of continuing the same like weird stuff. So like, for instance, you had Wakanda Forever, right? That was a Phase 5
But
movie.
we're just
Didn't see
now
it.
we're just now entering Phase 5.
Was
Yeah,
Wakanda
this-
in Phase 4?
Yeah, that was like Phase 4.
Okay.
I think
I can't keep
Guardians
track.
is supposed to be like the first movie of Phase
Phase 5.
Am
5.
I supposed to know which
think-
movies are in which phase?
You're
think-
supposed to. Yes, Jude. Pay attention.
I think it was supposed to be part of Phase 4, but it got delayed so long that
Yeah,
they
but
made it part of Phase 5.
Guardians 3 is like the end of the Guardians story.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So why would they put that
I
at the
don't know.
beginning of a phase?
No, if
I have
you
no idea.
remember, so like it was supposed to be the start of Phase 4. And James Gunn got fired
Right. Oh,
from
that's right.
Marvel because of a tweet.
Let's look at it.
Several tweets.
Yeah, several tweets.
Alluding at some weird.
I
old tweets,
vaguely
though.
remember this now.
Yeah.
And after he got fired, like that threw
Was it
the
about
whole,
vaccines?
No.
No.
Way worse.
Yeah. So like after he got fired, there was like this big thing about like, okay, like what do we do now? And so like they pushed Shang-Chi up to the top of Phase 4, and Shang-Chi like had like some setup for like She-Hulk eventually and all this other weird
All
stuff.
right. So according to this graph that I'm looking at,
You pulled up a graph?
I did.
Is
pull
it
up
an
a graph.
infographic?
Wow.
Phase 5 has the start of it is the Marvels and Guardians of the Galaxy are basically like at the same point.
Okay.
On the graph.
All right.
But this is an older model because it says Blade is going to be the second or third movie
It was supposed to be.
with Nova Corps. It's like I don't even know if that's been made.
Probably not.
And then there's a ton of shit on here that I don't think is ever going to even be on TV ever.
Well, that's why I was saying that they've rejiggered some stuff. So I think Quantumania was supposed to be the start of Phase 5.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
No,
With
no,
Kang
but
the
it's
Destroyer as the main bad guy.
Yeah.
What's funny to me is I look at these graphs, these graphics that Disney has put out, and they're just garbage.
Yeah.
They're just a bunch of stuff.
Like, oh, this sounds
Let's take
good,
this
this sounds
comic
good,
title,
throw
throw
it
it
up
against the wall, and this one. And
It has an eerie resemblance to the way Star Wars is being managed right
Yeah,
now. Let's just
it's
throw
insane.
shows to the wall and tell everybody about it.
But also, they seem to have given up on making the TV shows like matter to like the overarching story.
Well, I think they're
like you have Ms. Marvel,
Yeah.
which plays into the Marvels, but I mean like Moon Knight. Moon Knight had nothing to do with anything.
Oh God, that's another one I forgot
Yeah.
about.
And
I think that's why they canceled all the TV shows, because the majority of people are like, "What show is this
They
now?"
don't matter.
It's like it's too much. It's too much. Remember, like I feel like in the prime era of Marvel, they were putting a movie out every like 6 to 8 months, and it was just enough for people to be like jazz for the next one, because it's not a year, it's not 2 years, it's not enough time for people to lose interest. It's just enough time for them to be like, that freaking movie was dope. Can't wait for the next one in Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
And they had this perfect marketing / like release date system in place. And then they went to the TV release thing on streaming services because Disney was like, please give us money for streaming. And it just all fell apart after that.
But the next big Avengers level team up is supposed to be like the Kang Dynasty, right? Like that's the next big crossover event that all this stuff is supposed to be leading up to. And I just don't see it. Like Phase 4 and Phase 5 just feel so disorganized and bizarre. And I think that, segueing into our review of Quantumania, like this movie was just so all over the place. And I think we should get into talking about it.
Yeah, let's do it. Before we do, if you guys would like to support what we do here at the podcast, please go to saltinerdclub.com and join up in the Patreon area. We have a massive library of exclusive podcasts and reviews and TV shows that we talk about from the glory days of sci-fi. We're talking like Firefly, Doctor Who, Star Trek, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, all kinds of really cool stuff in our club members area. So head over there, saltinerdclub.com, if you want to join Patreon. If you would like to be a YouTube member, we have memberships available now that has its own set of exclusive content. So hop on there on YouTube, scroll down or wherever it is, and log into the members area. What is it, $4 for the video stuff?
$4.99.
You set this whole thing up. Why don't you pitch it?
$4.99 for level 2.
Level 2.
For the extra salties. The
Excellent.
salties level is
We're over
is
100
$1.
people now?
We're like 105, 106.
Nice. Over
Level
100.
2 makes
yes.
you the shit.
Let's get us to 150, folks.
Because number 2.
Oh, Jesus. On that note, Jude.
Perfect segue into this movie.
Yep, piece of shit. Go ahead.
big giant steaming turd. Okay.
Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. Michelle Pfeiffer is a fucking liar, and as a result, her whole family gets sucked back into the quantum realm where Kang rules with an iron fist, waiting for the day he can leave and conquer another world. Ant-Man's daughter is now old enough to get arrested. Evangeline Lilly has a terrible haircut. Hank is weirdly cool with everything, and once again, ants save the universe. Discuss.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I was like, you know what? I really want to talk shit because I love Evangeline Lilly.
Me
I think
too,
she's awesome.
and the whole time I was like, God, I can't get past her hair in this movie.
Yeah. I'm like,
I love having Jude on the show. Her hair was
terrible.
It's terrible.
I thought the same thing, but honestly, I was like, man,
I went and
if
got a haircut last week, and I was telling my new hairdresser
Whatever you
about
do-
how terrible her hair is.
don't do that, right? Yeah. No, it was a bad haircut. Bad do. So I watched this movie last night with my wife. She wanted to see it. And I was like, yeah, let's watch it. So we cuddled up in bed and we had the TV on. We were watching Ant-Man and Quantum. I fell asleep And then and she like jerked me, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Are you watching?" I'm like, "No, I'm sorry. I had to move and like drink some water to wake myself up and keep watching this movie. It was a snore fest. It's so long and kind of boring, and I didn't care about anything.
Doesn't matter.
And I was really frustrated with like, I understood what they were trying to do, but they went about it and they stretched it out way too long. As they were like, "Oh, you'll upset him. He's around the corner. This man,
He's hunting you."
I'm like, just freaking say who it is, for
Yeah.
Christ's sake. It's not that hard to say Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
He's the dude that rules the underworld or whatever.
Especially when he's been introduced in Loki already.
It's like,
Yeah.
we know who he is. Stop beating around the bush and just say it. But they did it for like an hour and a half in this movie. And then they finally were like, "Oh, it's Kang." And I'm like, yeah, we knew that 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Thanks. I did not understand why Michelle Pfeiffer was so secretive about everything. I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't tell
Well,
you.
because she was having an affair.
Van Dyne? I thought you were dead.
Is that why?
Yeah,
With
Kang.
She didn't
with
even
Bill
give
Murray.
a
Or
shit
Bill
about
Murray.
that.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
She was banging Bill Murray.
That is not why.
But what
Yeah.
did she say to Michael Douglas? She's like, "I have needs."
Yeah.
She did say that.
And he was like, "Yeah, you know what? I had needs
Well,
too."
I mean,
so.
she was in there for 30
Cool.
years.
I know.
so-
Yeah, but he was like,
She was basically divorced.
I went to dinner with a girl a couple of times. That's what he did. And she like straight up probably married Bill Murray in this universe.
I want to know if Bill Murray came in and pulled like a Ghostbusters 2016 on this movie.
Showed up in one day.
Just showed up and
Well,
did
he's
his
only,
shit.
100%.
he's only in one scene.
Yeah,
One
it's
costume.
Like, give me some booze and
8 hours of filming,
yeah.
and you're done. Here's $30 million.
I'm just gonna act like Bill Murray
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
well, he had been in negotiations to be part of the Marvel universe for like a while, and then like they were just like, "Hey, why don't you just show up for this movie?" And he was like, "Okay."
Wasn't he supposed to be the Jeff Goldblum from Ragnarok character? I don't know what.
Oh,
his
that
name
would
is.
have been that would have
that's
been
what I
interesting.
wanted.
I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
Either that or he's. I think they're both related to the Collector.
Legit, when he came down, I thought, and I'm never mad to see Bill Murray, but
Love Bill
legit,
Murray.
I was like, oh, I wish that was the Jeff Goldblum character.
Yeah, yeah. Did you like his intro music though? He had like this like techno beat thumping music while he was walking down the stairs, and they were like, "Look, everybody, it's Bill Murray."
I kind of want an intro song for when I enter rooms
We
too.
can do that. You want the John Cena thing?
Maybe. I want my own.
Oh, okay.
I do have to say, as the old person at the table,
Yeah.
Sure.
Michelle Pfeiffer looks
Oh my.
smoking
Smoking.
Yeah.
in this movie.
Smoking hot.
Yeah.
Silver-haired foxy
Yes.
lady.
Yes.
I mean, have you
Oh
seen
my
Martha
God.
Stewart recently?
No.
no.
Looking
No,
good.
no.
She's on the cover
No,
of
Martha
no.
Stewart is
Yeah.
looking good.
She's
up.
81.
What are the
She's on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Nobody
swimsuit.
needs to see that.
81.
She's 81.
Get out of here. She is not.
Yes,
She
she
did,
is.
well, she did used to be a model. My wife did say that to me. She did
How old
used to
is
be a
Michelle
model.
Pfeiffer?
So at least
She's got to be 70?
I don't know.
I'm going to look it up.
But
Google it.
at least Martha Stewart being an actual woman on the cover of Sports Illustrated is an upgrade from what they've been recently doing. So
They can't get any young blood. It's all dudes.
it's usually dudes in women's bathing
She's
suits.
65.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, man. She
But
looks
I mean,
good.
65.
Looking good,
Yeah.
though.
Oh,
I think
for sure.
I'd smash it.
I mean, J-Lo's 50, and look at her right now.
She's a vampire. She's been
Yeah.
up there with Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise and J Lo are vampires.
But Quantumania, before we get into, I do want to thank the writers of this movie for giving me some really good advice to take out into the real world,
Which is?
which is don't be a dick.
It's too late. Look at me. I'm such a dick.
Oh my God.
That was so good. That
And
was
you can die an
peak-
Avenger.
That was,
Can we
was
set that
peak,
up?
Peak writing.
Can we
man.
set that up,
Peak.
please? Explain to me what you're talking about right now.
Oh, it's just his.
For people who haven't
Were
seen
you
it.
asleep during that part?
No, I saw
I don't
it.
know if I can set it up.
I
It's
wish
so
I was
bad.
asleep.
His daughter is in the show.
All right,
and-
hold
and-
on.
Yeah, Kadish will do it. He does this. This is his
All
job.
right, so the character of MODOK is in this movie.
He's the B-man.
Yeah, so like MODOK, which stands for Mechanized Organism Designed Only for Killing,
Yeah.
even though they leave out the F. So like he's a big character from the comics, right? And in this movie, they took the villain from the first movie, Yellow Jacket, aka Darren, and in that movie, like he gets shrunk down like so much into the quantum realm that he just disappears and he's no longer a threat. But apparently, he goes into the quantum realm and Kang salvages him and turns him into MODOK. And so you have this scene where like MODOK is about to like kill Ant-Man, and then he like lifts up his helmet and he's like, "Hey, Scott," and it's
Hey,
like
it's me.
It's like the worst CGI ever.
Oh, it's gross.
But this character of Darren from the first movie is now this character of MODOK, and for some reason, you know, Cassie, Scott Lang's daughter, kicks his ass, and instead of killing him, she's just like, "Don't be a dick." And he's like, "Oh, that's great advice." And so that turns him into a good guy who then takes on Kang, and Kang basically like mortally wounds him, but like he's able to weaken Kang long enough for like the huge army of intelligent ants to defeat Kang. And then as he's dying, he's like, "Hey guys, I wasn't a dick, and at least I got to die an Avenger." and Scott Lang's just like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Look at Alex's face.
It's so bad, dude.
You know what I would have rather had instead of the family goes down to the quantum realm? I would have rather had some Ant-Man and Jimmy Woo adventures.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, Agent Woo was great.
Yeah.
They probably should just make a TV show about them.
You know what was my biggest complaint about this movie is like you're missing Pena.
The
Michael
fast
Pena.
talking Hispanic guy.
Yeah,
yeah. I mentioned that too. It's like
Yeah. You're missing like the whole like what they call themselves, the Wombat Crew. Or
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
like
and
that.
where is Judy Greer?
And Bobby Cannavale.
Yeah.
You know, like they're all missing. So like the problem with this movie is it didn't feel like an Ant-Man
Right.
movie, even though like they're in the quantum realm. Like the cool thing about the Ant-Man films is that they're supposed to be like heist films, right? Like Scott's like a burglar, and so he's usually presented with these like, you know, Ocean 11 style scenarios where he has to like use like his wits and the quantum suits to basically, you know, pull off a impossible heist. And they kind of had something like that in here, but like it didn't feel like a heist. It just felt like he had to make it through the probability matrix before he could
Yeah.
get to
Yeah,
like, whatever it
he had to
was.
fix the. Don't put my face on Gordak or whatever the frick his name is. JT.
Modok?
God dang it.
Kordak.
He put my face on.
did he? Oh, he didn't. He made you instead of
Oh,
Vadok?
no, it's supposed to be Vader. It's supposed to be
That's
Vadok.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Vadok.
Dang it, JT. Fail. No.
But I mean, like you could have had a scenario where he had to break into Kang's impenetrable like palace in order to save
The Fortress
Michelle
of
Pfeiffer
Kang.
or something like that. Yeah, like I liked all like the weird elements of the quantum realm, and it was really weird to see Lieutenant Biscuit show up as like barbarian chick. You guys remember
Oh
Lieutenant
yeah,
Biscuit?
from Star
Lieutenant
Wars.
Biscuit,
Yeah,
from
see,
the
once
Mandalorian.
you're in the Disney umbrella, they just use you for everything.
I'm
If you check enough boxes, you'll have work for a lifetime.
I'm really shocked that that redheaded, freckled, weird chick
She wasn't in this?
Wasn't in this one.
Yeah.
She might have been.
Well, they already have a character for her in the MCU. So.
Yeah.
Listen, for the record, I hate MODOK with a burning passion. Even the comic book character, like when I see pictures of him from the comics, I'm like, get out of here with this. This is too much. No, thank you. And then to see him in the movie, and he has like a large part in the movie, I'm like, this is we got to see his ass at one point. I was really upset about that.
What?
You get to see his butt cheeks.
Who?
MODOK.
Oh, Modok. Yeah.
But-
I didn't need that.
But not only that, like the CGI that they used was almost comical. Like the
Yeah.
way they scrunched down like the actor's face to like
Yeah.
fit into that
It's
thing.
really strange.
Like MODOK is supposed to be kind of like almost a caricature, but like I've never seen like the face like that scrunched up. It's mostly supposed to be like elongated, I thought.
I don't care.
I-
It's stupid.
I also learned another thing during watching this movie that I thought was fascinating.
What's that?
It's how many holes we have.
He has 7 holes.
Yeah, that's right.
7.
Yep.
It's
That's
very-
accurate.
Yeah.
I counted. Did anybody else count?
I did count.
I counted.
But how many holes do you have?
I like the little jelly dude. I
Come
thought
on,
he was
man.
funny.
It's so
I
weird.
thought he was funny. See, that's the thing. Like
I need holes. I want a hole.
like the. I mean, what are you gonna do with those holes when you got them, buddy?
Stick things in them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why he wants them. For the most part, I enjoy the Ant-Man movies. They're not my favorite in the Marvel genre, but like they're fun for like a little like, oh, let's go on a, like you said, like a heist movie. It's like a fun little goofy heist movie. I like that about them.
Yeah,
This one, like you said, it didn't feel like that. It was way over bloated. I felt like there was way too much going on.
well, there's a story behind that. So like originally this movie was supposed to be a lot more serious. It was a darker movie. The original ending had Ant-Man and Wasp trapped in the Quantumania after the portal closed and stuff like that. And after the final cut was turned in, the Marvel brass was like, oh, this needs to be more jokey. This needs to be more lighthearted. Needs to be more audience pleasing. And so like the beginning with like the voiceover and him like walking through the streets, along with the ending with the voiceover and him walking through the streets, those were all reshoots. They reshot a ton of this movie to make it a little bit like less dark than like the previous version was. Originally, it was like a much more kind of like father-daughter centric drama, and it just didn't match with like what Marvel thought Ant-Man should be. And so like this movie was basically reshot from the ground up. And I know that director Peyton Reed, who directed the previous 2 Ant-Man movies, was very unhappy with the final product because he was like, I wanted to tell a more serious story. I wanted to have like actual like consequences to like the events that happen and stuff like that. And personally, like I feel like the stuff with Kang was probably the best parts of this movie, and that's just because Jonathan Majors I thought was doing a great job as that character.
He's a good villain. I mean, he could be a good villain. Let me rephrase that. I don't know if he's going to be or not, but
He might be in real life.
It's true.
But the climax of this movie is basically an army of ants, Deus Ex ants, just show up out of nowhere.
They set that up, kind of.
Well, I mean, like they set it up, but they didn't set up like that many ants. And so, like these super intelligent ants who've been alive for like thousands of years and have evolved.
Yeah.
Basically like overtake Kang. After Kang like poo-poos on the ants, he's like, "You just control ants," and then all the ants come and defeat him.
Well, that whole big thing where they were building a society fell into the realm and exploded, and all of the ants came out. So yeah, I got it.
I got it too.
No, like I'm not saying it wasn't like properly set up. I'm just saying that like it was ridiculous. Like it just,
Sure.
I didn't think it worked.
Of all the things in this movie, that was the least of which that bothered me, was the ants showing up at the end. I did feel like they had way too many like big entrances at the end of this movie. They were like, Ant-Man got his big entrance, then who else? The Motley Crue people got their big entrance. Like there was like 4 big entrances for the end of it.
The octopus goo guy with no holes.
He had a big entrance, and I'm like, how many freaking times are we gonna do this? And it was like triumphant music, big hero reveal, and I'm like, that's the 4th one.
Oh, the guy that Michelle Pfeiffer fights in the beginning and takes his arm off, and then they're like, ha ha ha!
Yeah.
Stupid. Cut it out.
Yeah, dumb. I will say a couple things that I did like. I liked the creativity of the quantum realm. There's a lot of weird shit in this movie, and I like that. I like when they get creative and weird with things. Like there's animals and amoebas that are like the size of houses and stuff like that. It's cool. It's fun.
Do you
to
like
look
the
at.
flying, shooting buildings?
Yeah, actually, I kind of did. It was a little goofy.
You know what I did like
Silly.
was when he was like, "Is that building alive?" And he was like, "Yours aren't. Your buildings are dead."
Yeah, are yours dead? I did like that. See,
Yeah.
it has
You
some
didn't,
good
you didn't
moments.
think like the stuff like the drink the goo was kind of silly?
I thought it was funny because they explained why they could understand everybody there.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
Because if that wasn't there, I'd be like, why is everybody speaking English?
I think I hated everything that Michelle Pfeiffer did.
except be there.
Except be there because she's gorgeous.
I mean, she's beautiful, sure, but everything that was written for her character to do, I was really annoyed about.
Yeah, very
Like,
underwhelming.
she's so secretive when she comes back for literally no reason, and as a result, all of these hijinks happen.
Yeah, she could have been like,
yeah, I survived, and here's how. I really don't want to talk about it. Here's what you need to know. It's
Well,
just
Also, can we point out that Cassie is now like a Reed Richards level, Tony Stark level, like genius?
yeah.
Even though like she has no relation at all to Michael Douglas. Or
Yeah,
anyone like that.
She's like, Grandpa. I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah, Grandpa by marriage, right?
she's a strong female character, sir.
But I mean, like she's a teenage activist who is smart
She is an
enough to
activist.
create a quantum tunnel
Wait,
satellite thing.
is she a Mary Sue?
A little bit.
Is she a little Mary Sue?
She gets her ass kicked a couple times.
Well, do you notice how like her quantum suit just comes out of nowhere?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I had this on me the entire time.
yeah, I have a suit. Well, they kind of talk about like the idea that she might have a suit because she's working with Michael Douglas, and they're like, well, we're kind of helping her with a couple projects. But what bothered me, we're going to go back to Michelle Pfeiffer here for a second, is her character. Like, I was really looking forward to what she was going to do when they introduced her in the earlier Ant-Man shows. I was like, oh, cool, Michelle Pfeiffer, that'd be nice. And then in this one, like, she could have avoided this whole situation by just saying, hey, when I was in there was this really bad dude named Kang, and we fought, and I captured him, and he's stuck there. And if you open the quantum realm, there's a possibility he might get out.
Yeah.
So don't open the quantum realm.
Yeah.
And they would be like, oh, okay, no problem.
But she lies and says it's a desolate place. There's nothing and
For
no one there.
reason.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
No reason
And then
at all.
even when they all get there, she still isn't telling them what's going on. She's just like, let me handle this. And then she goes and has a battle with this guy just for the sake of having a laugh afterwards. Like, what if he had fired on him?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's just how they greet each other. They fight.
So there's a theory that after the Kang who was at the end of Loki was killed, that it reset certain elements of the policing of all the different Kangs, and that Kang going to the quantum realm was originally not supposed to happen, but because it did, it set off like a different timeline, and so this is a Michelle Pfeiffer from a different timeline. I've heard that theory.
Whatever.
Yeah,
See,
so
that-
that's kind of what I was expecting to happen because we see like the flashback of her, and then when Kane gets there, and her hair looks a little bit different from the one that we see like in our Earth, and I was like, ooh, is she gonna get back there and she's gonna like meet up with her evil self? And I was expecting that to happen throughout the whole movie, and then when it didn't, I was like, everything that they have her do is stupid.
That's the problem I have with these weird timey-wimey interdimensional things.
very easy to
there's,
get
there's,
lost.
There's no stakes.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
dies, they're just going to come back
Their
from
other self.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It's like the Gamora thing.
Yeah, I don't think
Gamora died, but she
I
didn't.
don't think the
It's
Gamora
like Fast and
thing.
the Furious.
It's-
Yeah.
right. It's just,
I don't think the Gamora thing was Gunn's plan. I think he was like, why,
Well, I'm
why
just
did you do that?
saying it. That's where the kind of stuff
Yeah,
that there's
yeah.
in comic books. There's no, there can't unless you're Uncle Ben. You don't have to ever worry about
Every
actually
Uncle
dying.
Ben dies. Every single one.
You-
of them.
you know,
Yeah.
so.
100%. I'm trying to think of things like so. I liked some of the visuals, although I think they did go overboard with it. Was what my wife's comment was after we were done watching. I'm like, "What'd you think?" She was like, "It was okay, but it was like a big cartoon. Like
Yeah.
everything was
Yeah.
CGI.
Just
like,
what's the term I used to use? A CGI
vomit fest."
vomit fest.
Yes,
Yeah, that's all this movie
that's
is.
all this movie is, 100%. Some of it's clever and fun, and I enjoy the creativity of the world, but it goes a little overboard. It's way too long. There's too many like subplots going on. Like, let's simplify this down a little
Yeah.
bit. Let's like fix the quantum machine and defeat Kang. Let's just like narrow that
I
down.
felt like I was over it halfway through it.
yeah, yeah.
Did
I texted Tom and I was like, hey, I'm watching this quantum butthole movie. It's fine.
Did they use the volume a lot when they made this, Matt? Do you know?
I do not know. I'm imagining it's just green screen or
Green
blue
screen.
Yeah, it's gotta be blue.
Is this
screen.
pre-volume? I don't remember when they made this. Actually, made this
I don't
movie.
know. I don't know.
I feel like they made it a long time ago.
I hope so.
But-
Give her hair a chance to grow back.
Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah, so Evangeline Lilly actually cut her own hair because she wanted
That makes sense.
She wanted it to mimic the look of the comic book character because she had like this pixie cut in the original comic books, but she just looked like a teenage boy.
Yeah.
It looked
terrible.
like a 1950s like pin curl set.
That's like a 20s thing, isn't it? Flapper, like the flapper curl.
No,
No?
I'm thinking like
Doesn't matter.
I went to hair school, so I know what I'm saying, but
Yeah, the 1920s
no one else needs
style
to.
is more of like a bob. But this was like just like a little boy cut.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Her haircut is bad.
How dare we talk about women's haircuts?
No, it's just like I
How
just
dare
I don't know.
you,
I don't know
sir.
how long you want to talk about it.
I
You wanna
know,
keep
No,
talking about
I
it?
know
do
the
not.
picture in my head from my beauty school books on like roller sets you needed to learn in order to get your license.
Patriarchy.
Beauty school dropout. There you go. We can watch Grease. Can we watch Grease?
No.
We can't watch Grease.
No.
It's not nerdy enough.
Absolutely.
We might not nerdy enough.
Unless we
You want to
unless
come over and watch it?
unless we dive down the rabbit hole that the entire movie is actually her near death or dying experience.
Ooh, I like that angle.
So
Anyway, is there any...
you've heard that, right?
No, I've never. That's the first time. That sounds fascinating.
This is kind of what I was saying. Like,
Oh, okay.
It's called
Yeah.
a pin curl set,
Very
and they're like
strange.
super flat to your head.
Yeah.
And then when you unravel them, they just kind of stay there.
Oh,
but
okay.
they just kind of flip.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Weird haircut. Evangeline Lilly and her weird haircut. That's like
What-
I can't even talk today.
What's your score?
Honestly, like if Ant-Man had looked like shit too, I would have been like, yeah, he looked like shit.
Oh,
Paul Rudd's another person that doesn't age.
yeah,
Yeah.
Paul Rudd doesn't age. He always looks good.
They're all drinking the goo.
Yep.
I wish I didn't feel like Paul Rudd got to be Paul Rudd a lot in this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he was funnier.
He was trying to.
Movies.
The whole time I felt like he was trying to play catch up with his daughter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he was always just chasing her around. Like,
I did like how like life after saving the world, like you know, he's walking around, people mistake him for Spider-Man. He's got a book out that he like, you know, reads
did
at,
like- I
like
thought that was funny,
signings and
yeah.
stuff like that. And you know, like he keeps reminding people, it's like, I saved the planet. You know, you're all here
Oh.
because of me.
oh, thank you for reminding me about that. His daughter immediately within the first 20 minutes of this movie annoyed the absolute crap out of me when she was like super ungrateful and just like this. I mean, she's a snarky teenager, so maybe that kind of fits.
Yeah.
There's an argument there, but
Wait till your kid's a teenager.
I know, right? She's just so ungrateful the whole time. She's like, "Do you do anything of importance? I beat up a cop. What did you do?" And he's like, "He helped defeat Thanos. Like, what is wrong with you?"
She's like, and I was here by myself.
Yeah, and I was playing activists in the streets with
Yeah,
my
good
friends.
for you.
Oh,
And,
like,
and he keeps like correcting them about like, hey, I went to Germany to fight with Captain
yeah, with
America.
Captain America. Not again. Nobody would fight against Captain America. Yeah, he's right.
He's a
right.
Captain America fanboy.
Yep.
And I kind of want to know why anybody would even know that.
Knew what? That he went there?
That they went and fought.
Wasn't that supposed to be like a Black Ops thing?
Yeah.
Like nobody was supposed to
Nobody
know
was
about
supposed to know about that. That's not a thing.
Well, that's what he got arrested for.
He did go to jail. He was a fugitive. Remember, they went to the giant floating prison.
Yeah.
That what's his face?
He was
had?
on house arrest the whole last movie.
I don't know. I don't see a lot of most wanted federal fugitive lists out there that are everybody on the planet knows about.
You can probably Google it.
Yeah.
Sure,
FBI's
especially if they're
most wanted?
superheroes.
Oh
Yeah. Come on.
All right. Whatever. Silly.
I'm gonna give this movie, I don't know, 2 stars, mostly just for creativity and a couple of jokes that I liked.
Let me see what I-
But MODOK sucks. Please, I never want to see that character ever, 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 ever again. I hate him.
He's dead. They
He's
killed him.
gross. He's dumb, and he ruined the ending of this movie for me.
He's Darren.
Shut up. 2 stars for me. Vader, how about you?
Let me see. What did I give this thing? Sorry, I put it on.
Doing your dailies?
What
No,
did you do?
no, I put it on my letterbox. I gave it a score.
You have a letterbox?
I do.
You nerd. I'm gonna go to Jude while you
Okay.
figure that out. Jude, what's your score for this?
It was fine. If you love Marvel movies, I guess you'll like this too. I'm not like, oh, it's a Marvel movie, I have to go see it. But I liked the last 2 Ant-Man movies, so I was like, yeah, I want to go see that. And then I did, and I was like, it's fine. So 2.5 stars for me.
Okay, cool. Candace, how about you?
I too have a letterbox, and I can remember what ratings I gave the movies.
I don't remember things.
Yeah, I'm with you, Alex. This is I actually enjoyed this movie more than I thought I was going to be enjoying it, simply because like I'd heard so much bad stuff about it, and we specifically waited for it to come out for free on Disney Plus because I was like, I don't want to have to pay to see this movie.
Yeah.
But overall, like it wasn't a terrible movie. Like
Yeah.
it was somewhat enjoyable. So I'm right there with the 2 quantum buttholes out of 5.
I like
yeah.
that too. Quantum buttholes. All right, did you figure out your
I
score?
did find it.
Go ahead.
I did find it.
Go ahead. Did you
And
write a paragraph about it?
No, I did not. I
Okay.
just give them star ratings and
All right.
move on. But I gave it two quantum buttholes.
2.
as
So
well.
we're 2 is across the board.
Yeah, it's a 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a 1-star crap fest because
No.
I did chuckle at a few things. You know, like MODOK's butt was.
No,
kinda
that was not
kinda
funny. It was awful.
It was like, why? Why did you put that in the movie?
I don't
I
know.
was like, I don't get it.
Because they thought, oh,
Yeah.
MODOK is funny.
And he's got his like tiny hand.
Stop talking about it.
And his
I'm
little
gonna-
baby legs.
I'm gonna have
Little baby
nightmares.
legs.
Blah.
But yeah, 2 stars for me. I don't care if I ever see this movie again. And it's time to move on.
So
Before-
are we going to give a rating to the overall Phase 4?
No, I haven't even watched all of them. I don't.
well, there's only Phase 4. What's
that's
what's
like Wakanda Forever.
that's the MCU phase, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't watched half of them. I
It's
don't know.
Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Nope.
We got the Eternals,
Sucks.
Didn't even finish it.
Wakanda Forever.
I'm gonna give it
Nope.
a 1.5 rating
For Phase 4?
For Phase 4.
Yeah.
1.5 quantum buttholes.
1.5 quantum battles overall.
I
for the
didn't even
rating.
finish. I can't judge it because I didn't even watch it, but I know it's not going to be great. I have one question before we wrap up, though. Is Kang like a superhuman something or other? Does he have powers, or is he like tech savvy? Because a lot of his things that he's like shooting with his arms and stuff,
Kang
it
is
seems
like
to be coming from his outfit.
I think he's more of an entity.
Isn't he like a god?
He's some kind of like supernatural entity. I honestly have no idea.
No, so like in the comic books, he's like a super advanced human
Okay.
on the level of Reed Richards
Okay.
from Fantastic Four. And so
Okay.
he was able to invent these things that allowed him to hop universes and basically like empower different versions of himself. And so across the multiverse, you know, Kang is basically one of the most powerful people in every timeline that he's in.
That's what I wanted to know. He's just a
Okay.
normal human, but he builds really good tech.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like if you think of like Tony Stark as like a genius, Kang is like 1,000 times more intelligent than
Isn't
him.
Doctor Doom like super smart too?
Here's what I do know.
Yeah.
We will be told what exactly Kang is in the comments below. Because somebody will write a 10,000 word
Perfect.
diatribe.
You fucking
explaining-
idiots! How
don't
dare
even
you?
know.
But I do want to say that like I'm pretty intrigued by Kang, especially with the end credit sequence on this movie, where we got to see like tons of different
A stadium of
Yeah,
Kangs?
stadium of Kangs. But like I've been intrigued with him ever since like his appearance in Loki, and I'm actually looking forward to Loki season 2 because I like the timey-wimey time cop type stuff.
We know you do.
Yeah,
Is Owen Wilson coming back?
Yes.
All right, I might
well,
watch it.
well,
Wow.
well, he was in the second end credit scene
I
of this
didn't watch
movie.
the credits.
Yeah, so basically the second end credit scene to this movie was Loki and Owen Wilson's Mobius, something
I
like
don't
that.
know. No, that's the
Mobius.
Jared Leto character.
No.
Oh. No, that's Morbius.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Mobius is different.
Mobius.
Jesus
no
Christ.
R. There's no R in it.
It's like Aegon the First, Aegon the Second,
Damon and yeah.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra, Rhaenys.
So the second end credit scene was basically a scene from Loki season 2 where Loki and Owen Wilson's character are looking at a version of Kang that is in the past, and he's basically like Loki's just terrified of him. And this is all leading up to the Kang Dynasty, which is the first new crossover event for the Marvel Universe. Of course, I think we're going to have like the young Avengers and stuff like so. Like none of the old guys are like returning for it or something like that. It's going to be really weird.
I actually have heard rumblings that they're trying to get the oldies back.
Oh, I'll guarantee you they're trying to.
You know, I
100%.
mean, there's
with the whole quantum realm nonsense and multiple versions of people, I almost expect them to get Tom Cruise as Iron Man.
I mean, no. I'm even seeing like Robert Downey Jr. is like putting shit out there on like Twitter or whatever.
They're
It's
gonna.
like, do you want me to play Iron Man 4 or Sherlock Holmes 3?
They're
What
Which
has
one
Robert
do you
Downey
want?
Jr. been doing since Iron Man died?
I don't make him lame movies.
no. He made
Dudley
a couple.
Doolittle.
Well, he did like a courtroom drama movie a while ago, but
Yeah.
Huh.
since then, really nothing.
He
Okay.
doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, he's so
made
much
it.
money.
He's like, yeah, my character's dead, so
I'm dead too.
good.
I am retired.
What I want him to do, I want him.
Well, he's an Oppenheimer.
Yes, he is an Oppenheimer. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Looking
he
for way down.
became like emaciated to play that. role or
He
something
got
like that.
super sickly looking.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. He's really, really skinny in that
I
movie.
hate it when
Okay.
actors do that.
I saw him for a half a second in the trailer, and I was like, oof. But I honestly, if Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back for anything, I hope it's Tropic Thunder 2. I want to see Tropic Thunder 2. I want them
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised
Yes.
as another dude.
bring him
I
back.
don't know if they can make that movie. now.
Of course they can.
I hope
After
they
the
do.
machine comes out, they're going to do it.
Oh, that's coming out soon.
Yeah.
What is that noise?
I don't know.
It's Vader.
Vader, stop
As
fiddling with your
normal.
shit.
I did. Oh, what's that?
Anyway, okay.
Sounds
well,
like a little creature.
we have a pet. He's got like a gigapet on his phone. Do you remember gigapets? Anyway, all right, that's it for our discussion of Ant-Man Quantum Butthole. Thank you guys for watching the review. There's two things I want you to comment. I want you to comment what you think about this movie, and I want you to comment what your favorite Marvel movie is. And I'm going to assume that it's either from Phase 1 or Phase 2.
And nothing else.
And nothing else counts. It better not be Captain Marvel, because I will ban you.
I meant don't comment anything else.
Oh, that's it. No other comments. None whatsoever.
We're not taking questions.
Do not put my face on Mordock.
MODOK.
Whatever his name is. It's stupid. It sucks so bad.
Morbius and Mobius are the same goddamn dude.
It's Jared Leto, not Leto. All right. Matt Vader, say goodbye to the people.
You threw me for a loop there. Hey,
How?
I don't know. You just wouldn't. I don't know, man.
He's still looking up his letterbox review.
I just threw the baton at you.
I'm
Full
so
speed.
techno
Here.
unsavvy. Bye, people. Thanks for listening.
All right,
See you
Jude,
around.
say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Kadish?
Adios.
All right, guys. Stay salty.
I'm such a dick.
It's never too late to stop being a dick.
Moral is, don't be a dick, dick.